Just for you. When someone asks me where I'm from, I tell them LJ, Georgia. And when they kind of wrinkle their brow and they say, "You don't sound like you're from Georgia," I immediately retrace my steps and I say, "Well, I grew up in Waukesha, Wisconsin. I graduated from Waukesha High School when there was only one." As some of you know, I wasn't born here. My father was a General Motors mid-level manager, and he traveled around a lot. And fortunately for me, he got plateaued when he was here, and I got to complete my whole high school education, as well as go to UWM and get a degree from there before I took off for graduate school, and my parents took off as well. And so my roots went out of here after I did, and so I come back for reunions. I have no family up here. I come back for you guys. I continue this grand tradition of moving around. I joined, after I got my master's degree at Purdue, I went to work for Exxon, which was the General Motors of our day. Started moving around until I started leaving kids behind and decided Georgia's good enough, we're staying. And so we now live in the mountains of Georgia. When I think about Waukesha, though, this is where I came of age. And I came of age with the people in this room. And I've got stories and you've got pictures. I was trying to think about, okay, so 4 things. What are 4 things I know about the Waukesha High School class of 1974? You get 4 things, what would you say? Here's number 1. Skid marks. Most of my friends and I couldn't wait to get the heck out of here. When we got done with senior year, I remember, I don't know if I actually did it, but I was either flipping the bird or I was thinking about it as I was strolling the hall one last time, thinking, never again will I darken these halls, and I am on to something else. So I really didn't think about coming back, particularly that high school, you know? As a matter of fact, if you guys remember our history, our class history, Louis Karachi, freshman class president, right? Yeah. Can't serve 2 terms in a row, so he was junior class president. Can't serve two terms in a row, so we're looking around for somebody for senior year, and we picked Tracy Stevens. I became somehow or another the campaign manager, so my job was to think of what theme can we use to get Tracy elected. So the theme was, if you elect Tracy, you'll never have to suffer through a high school reunion. Because we all know Tracy is not going to do it. And so,
I swear every time I'm not going to do it.
And you guys voted for him, so I couldn't have been the only one thinking about being gone forever. So anyway, if it weren't for Tracy finding Terry and her becoming an honorary member of our class, we wouldn't be doing these kinds of things. So anyway, I don't know why I was in such a hurry or why so many of my friends were in the same state, but skid marks is what I remember. Number 2, you know us at all. We had a big class. Big class. And I'm not just talking about Mike over there or Bobby Krantz. I'm talking about, there's just a lot of us. I mean, this is not my first reunion, and I'm going around meeting people that like, you were here 4 years? I was here 4 years. I'm 6'7". You never noticed me. Never seen you before. Okay, well, cool, you know. We could somehow coexist in this giant class, and somehow I got through. But I think about that in particular, the size of the class, and some of us talked about this last night, it had a real effect on things like athletics. So just do the math, for example. If you wanted to play basketball, I'm not saying I did, but, and you say, well, you got candidates from 4 years, you know, and half the population, one sex or the other. So do the math, you got about 2,000 boys to make a 12-person basketball squad. Same thing for girls. It was freaking hard to make a sports team. And then last night it dawned on me, it was probably hard to do anything around here, to be on any club. Certainly to be a cheerleader, to be anything is a very difficult thing when we got so many of us here for so little spots. So we were big. We were just big. All right. So the third thing I'll say is kind of a corollary to the big thing. In order to survive in a big system like this, you had to kind of buddy up. We had cliques. I mean, we ran by cliques. Little groups of people who had something in common. Either you were all together in one kind of class, or you were on a certain kind of team, or you know, and we had not just sports cliques, we had smart people hung together, you know, and there were all different kind of clubs that people congregated into, and then people just kind of somehow lived next to each other or liked each other, and we existed in pods. Some people like to cross-pollinate pods, the natural networkers like Chris, Katie, Beth, you know, back and forth between the pods, but a lot of us had our little group, and that's who we were with, and so I had a pod of people that I hung with that 40 years later I'm still connected to, and I hope you are connected to your pod as well. I have one more, if I have one more memory about high school, and I'm trying to be totally honest here, it's got to be the girls. I'm just saying that I'm not sorry about it. I found you girls completely distracted. I swear to God, if this were an all-male school, I would have had straight A's and been ushered into Harvard and probably be a triple PhD by now. Okay, so thanks a lot. But I just, if you count up the amount of energy you spend on school, okay, I don't know, 35%, the amount you spent on sport, maybe 15%, that left at least 50% to contemplate girls. Now, I did a lot more contemplating, me and my friends, did a lot more contemplating than acting. A lot more gazing than, you know, acting. But we were thinking about you. And don't think just because we didn't date you, we didn't think about you. And so, anyway. My wife was here, Gail, I met her in graduate school, and when I found Gail, I was looking for a composite of all of you in this room. You know, I kind of wanted somebody as organized as Chris Howard, as smart and well disciplined as Beth Heflin, with Kim Shane-Walter's legs. And who is as nice as Katie Ford. So, I mean, so you guys have a lot to do with how I think about women and how I think about life. And fortunately, getting married, you can now concentrate on other things. So it's amazing how my productivity skyrocketed when I finally found somebody and stopped all that stuff. But my school years, you girls were a big part of it. So, and kind of wrapping this thing up, I guess I'd like to say I've got a bit of a turnaround in my thinking. Started a couple decades ago, and I started looking back going, wow, wait a minute. I kind of, sorry for the shitty campaign slogan, Tracy. You know, I'm not sure really, I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm rethinking all of that. When somebody asks me where are you from, the answer is I'm from Waukesha, Wisconsin. I graduated from Waukesha High School. Waukesha High School taught me how to survive and thrive in large systems. That helped me when I went to UWM, and we went from 4,000 to 25,000. That helped me at Purdue when I went from 25,000 to 35,000. He taught me, by the way, that I had no future as a professional athlete. I got that out of the way real quick. There was no delusions of grandeur. I wasn't like the, if we had had like 400 kids, I might have been good at something, you know, and had the idea that someday I would actually get paid to play sports. No way. It's not going to happen. So we got that taken care of off the list, and I was able to focus better. He taught me how to form friendships in clusters and how to try to network across the clusters to keep in touch with people that I also admire and like, but couldn't necessarily spend all my time with. Gosh, I got to tell you, Dan, coming back to Waukesha and looking at this place now, who could not be proud of this city? This is really spectacular. It really is. This is not your father's Oldsmobile, you know what I mean? I mean, you guys have done an amazing thing, all of you who've worked on this city. It is way better than I left it. And for being our stewards, I got to tell you, I truly appreciate that. So if there are any skid marks left on the South Campus pavement, I'd be happy to go over there and scrape them off before I go. But I'm not into them anymore. So I'm from Waukesha, Wisconsin. I graduated from Waukesha High School when there was only one.
Did a great job.
Wow. Gary, thank you so much because we've been kind of keeping in touch.